Hialeah, no doubt. East 10th Street, where we play out. Here we bring the Miami crowd. Alex, the boy with the D. Step into rhythm, feel the heat. Street vibes mixing with the Latin tree. In our flow, the two worlds meet. East 10th Street boys bring the party. Bring the noise from Hialeah with some joy.
Drink water like that. Well, I'm telling you, bro. I'm focused, bro. I'm focused, man. Yeah, inside out.
You don't know who I am by now.
So you identify as.
You know, hey. When Alex takes a shower, the dude goes for 3 hours. I mean, it's like, you know he's going to be gone for a while. You have time. Do whatever you're going to do. Go grocery shopping. Go eat dinner.
Night, Latin spice and neon lights.
Hello, good evening, Miami, and welcome to another edition of East 10th Street Boys, straight out of Hialeah. I'm Bobby El Gringo, joined always by my brother, Alex the Boy. Sorry, we waited a few minutes. We're on Cuban time, which is what we usually do. But we were just, shooting the breeze, catching up before I actually go live, talking, the normal struggles of parenting and coaching and all of the above.
Yeah.
What's up, my brother?
I'm doing good, man. It's beautiful weather. Well, not beautiful weather. It's cold, chilly, but it's raining. But I'm under an umbrella here, so I'm good. But it's been drizzling for like the past fucking 2 days, man. It's horrendous. It's like that nasty little rain, annoying little rain.
You wish you were up north in the snow?
Actually, I do wish I was up in the snow, man. Just fucking doing snow angels. And when I saw that, I'm like, and we were in Destin like 2 years ago. And when I see Destin Beach today, the picture of Destin Beach is covered in snow, and I'm like, holy shit. And it's like the cold comes, but it just stops. It stops like midway Central Florida. You're like, you know what? No, Miami's not gonna get any of this at all.
No,
we're good.
You just
we're good.
Yeah. See, we're not getting. We did have snow. We had some flurries for this one, but we had snow last week. I sent you some of those pictures, and it was great.
By the way, it looks beautiful.
It was really nice. It was one.
Is
day
it now like
snow.
mushy? Is it now like
No.
It's good?
Not this one. Yeah, no,
Okay.
not this round. The day after it is, because everything gets wet and then it gets hard and then but it was perfect. We did a snowman. Ellie got to go outside and play. Our youngest, she really enjoyed it. She was throwing snowballs with her siblings, so that was really cool. But now, while the New Orleans, the Panhandle of Florida, they're all getting snow. We got the dead cold back end of it. Like last night in the middle of the night.
Is it windy?
Oh, dude, the breeze, because it was yesterday, like even just going to the store with Tati, it was 15 degrees out. Like, you know me, I don't mind the cold at all, but just to be out there, your hands were like hurting. And then at night when I went to go check the temperature, just to make like 3 a.m, I've been dealing with a scratchy throat, and sleep has been like a challenge and whatever. But like checking the temperature, 5 degrees out. Like, and it feels worse than that. So like we keep the water running warm here, cold over there. And the dog we send out, she does her business, and then she's already at the door, which she does that either way. But at this time, we're like kind of like, all right, get in. But
wow. So you got to keep the water running nonstop, a little bit, like a drizzle.
Well, yeah.
So it doesn't freeze over
in the middle of the night. Yeah, you one side of the house you leave it like hot water, and the hot water you just let it drip, and then the other side you let it cold.
Gotcha.
And that way, your pipes don't freeze and burst, because that's terrible.
That's horrible.
Screwed. And we haven't had that yet. But either way, it's not that bad. How frozen are you, Bobby? Again, for me, it's not as bad. I like it compared to everyone else here in the house.
And your family.
Yeah. The other day I went out with a jacket and a shirt to turn the car on. My mother-in-law was like, "Is that how you went outside?" I said, "What? I'm not gonna be outside forever.
Yeah.
Legs don't bother me as much as the chest. You got to keep your chest covered.
Yeah.
But it's not as bad. I think it should be bad now. It's cold and it was cooler in here earlier. I guess because I took a shower and it's not that bad now. But it's 22 degrees out. Feels like 15 right now. God, but clear skies. So it's nice and nipply outside.
And cool. Yeah,
it's nice and cool. Nipply. But other than that, man, just chilling out. Alex, with the network, busy as always. Coaching for you and I know you're busier in regard to that, because it's a daily thing. Where me, it's 1 day a week, and then the Saturday. But that's a lot of fun. The network, we have continuous content. We got the wrestling, everything else. But it's all great. Everybody's kicking ass. But the draft content's really coming along. The NFL draft content. I am in the middle of tight ends. I've gone through quarterbacks, running backs, receivers. We got a good crew and on the clock with Josh Wingate and Coach Vogel. And shout out to Coach Vogel, who coaches in one of the indoor football leagues where he's at. He's the defensive and offensive line coach. So that was pretty cool news that he told me. The Cobras, which is really neat. So
nice.
Shout out to Coach. And it just
is it like an arena football type thing?
Yes.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. And he is and I mean just to keep his give us his time to continue to do that. He loves doing the scouting with us and doing the show. And so we're working on a draft guide, Alex. And I was watching receivers today and or not yet today. I was watching tight ends. A lot of people were talking about Tyler Warren, but the one guy that I saw, and I like Tyler Warren, don't want to say I don't. That's a tight end from Penn State. But Harold Fannin Jr. tight end, that one jumped off the chart for me. I mean, I was watching him and I was like, this dude is awesome. I can't wait to dive more into him. APR, what he's talking about, I released my first kind of like way too early mock draft, Alex, and this is like without really players and stuff. It was just like, let me just do this. And because I'm working on the draft guide, and he's from Virginia Tech and he's a stud rusher. Numbers are off the chart, but he was in the 7th round and I took him, and Will was saying, man, I could see him going in the 1st round. He was surprised he was even in the 7th, where the majority consensus, and of course that changed, consensus says he's going to end up around the 5th round. But again, this guy's an automatic top 10 pick. No, this guy's an automatic 8th round pick. You never know until you get there. It's all based off your, the evaluation holder.
Yeah.
So, I really like what I see in regards of numbers. I can't wait to watch his film to see, really what I think about him. Shout out though to Chop Robinson, Miami Dolphins edge rusher, all rookie. Shout out.
Well deserved.
There were some people there calling him a bust way too early on. I said, hold your horses.
I think that he might actually go down as the best pick Greer has ever made as a Dolphins GM. Because we always talked about the bad picks. What is the best pick that Greer has made in terms of value, placing in draft?
Well,
so who else is he drafting?
That's a great question because,
Javon Holland.
Didn't he draft Christian Wilkins? But Wilkins is gone.
He I think he did.
Yeah, he did. That was his first pick. I think it was his first official pick as a GM.
It
wouldn't be. You can't say it's 2 anymore because 2 injuries cut him out, right?
Yeah, I mean, that would be long term, but for now,
I think
that's the thing.
What is Alex? You have audio feed. Somebody's talking on your end. I hear like a girl.
Here. Oh, you got it. Is it me or yours?
Yeah, it was you. It wasn't me. I have mine's just connected to the microphone.
Damn, I couldn't hear you.
Like a lady, a girl was talking or something. But Jalen Phillips could be that pick. Jalen Phillips.
That's true.
Poltergeist. Yeah.
That's my son. Hold on.
Okay. He's an EVP. Can you hear us?
Sorry, it was my son. He put on his headphones. So it connected automatically.
You see? So it was a kid. It was a kid.
Yeah, it was my son. It was my son.
I heard something. I was like, I didn't know. Now I see. I get it now.
Probably my son and my wife talking on the background.
It did sound like Jamila. So I was like, I'm wondering if she's into the feed. And so that's crazy. But the draft is so much fun. I really do enjoy it. I love reading people's comments with like, "There's no way this guy's going to be there." There's no way.
Who went first overall in your mock draft? Your way too early mock draft. Was it Cam Ward?
I didn't do the NFL one.
You did like a Dolphins one.
I'm building that. Yeah, I'm building that.
Got you. Okay.
For the guide.
Got you.
Right now, if like just overall, I'm thinking, okay, if it's quarterback, it got to be Cam Ward, right?
Yeah.
I'm not putting Sanders there.
No.
Sanders there. But Tennessee's in a prime spot. Really, I was just talking to my brother about that. Tennessee.
They could trade down if they want to.
They got the right. I really like who they hired as the GM, Berganzi. Remember, I brought him up for the Dolphins if they would have fired Greer.
Mm-hmm.
He knows. at least he's experienced in how to build a successful constructed roster in an organization. So, I mean, what he can do is go, okay, yeah, we could just get this early and go get a quarterback and make it all right. But the issues in Tennessee, like Miami and other teams, are deeper than the quarterback. I mean, he could easily say, let's trade the best pick. Let's trade the number 1 pick and gain a buttload of picks and then get whatever quarterback's still standing later in the first round. Shadir pull an Eli to stay away from the Browns. He could. Depends on what his dad does. You know, I think he might want to go to the Raiders, possibly the Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know the Giants supposedly love Cam Ward. So
I bet they do. This is the draft too. Again, we're quarterbacks for me. I mean, 3rd round, 4th round. Second round, don't reach. There's a guy, again, I had it. That's what I got the most kind of feedback was Milroe. I had him going to Miami. I'd be another Alabama quarterback. It's like this is the problem. He's like, you guys, it's like this.
Yeah.
You're not looking at the talent.
It's a different type of quarterback.
It's a different type of quarterback. And again, it's not saying he's the starter.
McCord in the 3rd.
Kyle McCord from Syracuse. That's my thing. There's a lot of guys that you could get in the 3rd round of good value. But don't overreach in the 1st round. Who I had was going to Miami in the 1st round was Mason Graham, the defensive lineman out of Michigan. I had him going to Miami, and I worked on offensive line later just because I don't know if there's going to be somebody worth that pick at that point in time. But again, way too early. But here's the thing: we talk Miami and everything, but let's get to the real inkling news, because right now there's not much to talk about Miami. Dolphins have not hired a special teams coach. Panthers keep doing what they're doing. The Marlins, it's just, but the Miami Heat. First off, we talked about shout out to Chop Robinson, the Dolphins rookie. Let's shout out Khalil Ware, the Miami Heat rookie, the center. Finally getting a start. I think he started the last 2 games, and my goodness, is he as advertised. I remember after he was drafted, the same thing with Jaime Jaquez, and Jovic or whatever, but Jaquez, just crapping on the draft pick. Who's that? Who? Because he's not the big publicity name. And you just, dude, sit down and watch. And you go ahead and you see what this young man has done with the minutes he's been given. And you see the difference he can make. What he was able to do to Victor Wembanyama, against Victor Wembanyama, the consensus next big thing, the former number 1 overall pick, and his numbers are equal to that. I know, and very quick, Daniel, I would say there's a 60% chance we lose him. I would say there's still a 40% chance he stays, because there's teams like the Jacksonville Jaguars are really shot themselves in the foot not firing their GM while they fired their head coach. They kept Trent Bulk, and then all the coaches they've interviewed didn't like him, and they fired him, and they're kind of behind. So I wouldn't be surprised at that, but we'll see.
And Kevin, that's just with where you're not gonna see that sophomore slump with Jaime. It's kind of like what we brought up last year. Jaime can perfect a lot of areas of his game, but development wise, this is who Jaime is. Like, there's no other level. It's perfection. It's being more efficient, but he can improve his 3-point shooting. But aside from that, this is who Jaime is. He's a developed player that is going to continue to grow. Yeah. But there's no new areas in per se.
And that's the other thing too. Again, they're allowed to have a sophomore slump. Just because he's not having a great year, does that mean he's a bust? Hell no. Hell no. You saw what he can do.
Yeah.
And that's my thing. Let me just say this.
Actually, he will benefit the most from a Jimmy move.
That's what I'm saying. Once Jimmy Butler is gone, he is gone, even if he's still on the roster, you sit his ass down and get him away as far away as the team. You say, we're past the Jimmy era, whatever that may be. Once that happens and that distraction is over, you're going to see a lot of guys start performing way better. You're going to see a lot of guys get out of their own shadow. Jaquez, I don't know if that is the case or not, but I know when I I advocated for Jaquez before the draft about Miami drafting him, and I talked about him, I said this guy he's like a Jimmy Butler clone. He's a poor man's Jimmy Butler. I'm not gonna say he is Jimmy Butler, but I said he was a poor man's Jimmy Butler. And lo and behold, in his rookie season, he showed it. That doesn't mean he's just because he's having a tough year doesn't mean he's trash or he's gonna be a bust. I believe in the kid, and Ware has shown that he can hang in the NBA. A lot of people are going, dude, why was this kid not picked up earlier? Where was this guy? I think Khalil Ware, especially with Bam Adebayo, and with these guys, the way they transition and they pass the ball around, he's going to be a stud. He's just going to continue to get better. If he has a slump, let him have a slump. We got to be patient with these kids, but because they're younger. But you got to see the writing on the wall and how good these players could possibly be later down the line. Remember, for me, a lot of people are surprised with this. I'm not. He was my rookie of the year.
Yeah, you mentioned. Absolutely.
So
and it just takes a little bit of time to get him on the floor. And what you still see in Ware is sometimes is the over aggressiveness in the youth in him. And that's part of coaching, that's part of reps. Like for example, he gave up yesterday like 3 or 4 offensive rebounds because he was over aggressive on a block. So you're just gonna see that those are things that behind the scenes.
That's maturity.
And it's just
he's 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
When stuff came easy to him, because he's playing against the best center, or maybe going to be the next best center in basketball, and he's performing that way, and he looks really good, and then he's blocking this guy and this guy. All of a sudden, that's where maturity kicks in, because then you go, "Oh, I could do it to anybody."
Yeah,
that's where he becomes over aggressive.
And what he's doing now for people that are like, "Oh, why wasn't he playing earlier?" What he's doing now, he would not have done that in the beginning of the season because he needed to develop his body. He's gained over 15 pounds of muscle. That is a testament to the Heat training staff. They prepare you. So when the Heat unleash somebody, I understand now it's kind of like a bigger push because basically Jimmy chose the Heat's next build and we pivoted towards youth, which we saw that coming in the offseason. The moment Pat said Jimmy wasn't getting an extension, you kind of saw the writing on the wall. We're pivoting towards this. Jimmy could be a part of it, but we're focusing on this, on Tyler, on Bam, on Jovic. And now, obviously, with Ware, you're going to see the development on a daily basis and improvements because there's nothing like in-game reps. But they're not going to put you out there to throw you to the fire when you're not at least semi-prepared to handle it because it's a disservice to the player. It shocks you. Sometimes it demoralizes you as a player. So I respect that it's coming along, but we saw the writing on the wall. And when you have Ware next to Bam, that frees up Bam defensively to guard the wings, to guard all over. He doesn't have to play in drop coverage all the time. Now he's more of a facilitator on offense. So, and you give the perfect scenario because you sub Bam out and you still have the Ware and Jovic minutes, which they love. They love playing with each other. So it's a good formula. I just want to see when the trade is finalized, if it's done, because the holdup is Beal and Milwaukee. They're finding another partner. I wouldn't be surprised if Chicago's involved. I know they talked about Detroit, Toronto. They're gonna get it. They're there. But they just gotta find the home for Beal because in order to take Beal's contract, it's gonna take a lot of compensation, which is why they made the move with Utah. But whenever it settles, whatever pieces we get back, it's gonna be more of an incorporated into this youth piece. It shouldn't cost minutes to Jaquez. Pelle Larson should play more. We see the potential that he has with his unit. So I'm intrigued to see how this all plays out.
So to catch up on what's going on with Heat and Jimmy, first off, Kevin says, I don't know what to believe in trade rumors anymore. Hayes says that Bucks and Beal is non-existent. I get it. It's the same. Right. Everything's going to be fluent. It's a fluid situation. I am taking everything with a very thin grain of salt, minus the official news, like the suspension, the trade by Phoenix, which I think is just is a sign of things to come. I know Beal's agent, I guess, really saying that he's focused on being with the Suns after his injury. Agents will say anything not to put their players or their representation, whatever, in a bad spot. Look what Butler's agent did before this whole mess started. None of it's true. Shams, you're a liar. Blah blah blah. Now look who looks like the jackass.
I don't know. It's ridiculous, bro. I don't know why people
It-
do that, and
it's
it's
like,
gonna
why do
come
you
out.
talk, bro? You look like an idiot. I never understood that with people, and it just continues to happen.
Yeah.
And so take everything with a very thin grain of salt, but let's catch up on exactly what's going on. So Jimmy has played, I think, the last 2 games. I think he played 2 games, right, Alex?
Yeah.
He was involved. And first off, he just doesn't look involved. He didn't look like he does not want to be there. His team's there in the huddle. He's sitting on the side. He's wearing the Sun shoes yesterday, which I know a lot of people were texting me about. I get it. I can care less what shoes he wears. I care about the play on the court, dude. Show your heart, show your effort. He and then you find out that the Heat suspended him today for 2 more games because he missed a flight to Milwaukie, was going to come on his own. Obviously, the Heat are just sick of it. Obviously, Coach Spo is sick of it. He's sick of answering questions about it. The Phoenix Suns made a trade with Utah. Was it Utah?
Yeah.
And they gained extra picks. They freed up some picks, some
weaker
picks, but still first-round picks, which scream that, oh, this is them trying to make some moves so they can have the enough picks to facilitate a Jimmy Butler deal. And it's all been said from Alex, from Ian Winderman, and whatever. And we all know that this is going to be a multi-team trade, and that is what the deal is, or at least the deal that's been thrown out there is Phoenix, Miami, Milwaukee, maybe someone else, but the Milwaukee deal would be, okay, Beal goes to Milwaukee, Butler goes to Phoenix, Miami gets Middleton and Portis and a draft pick or 2 draft, whatever. First off, I will say, and Troy, I see you, brother. Thank you for watching. I'm going to get to your question in just a second. But I will say, though, that deal I don't hate. Is, as long as we get some draft compensation, because I want to build towards the future. Why I don't hate the deal in regards of Bobby Portis and Middleton, because it gives you 2 options. First off, they come in, you see what they can do in a short amount of time. First off, Bobby Portis screams Miami Heat. Love Bobby Portis, everything about him. Chris Middleton, too. Great veteran player. If you think the Heat could get into at least at a play-in at this point, you could roll with those guys. A veteran presence with your young roster. It's perfect. Unselfish, good players. But if you don't, where you're like, okay, we just want to take them. They both have player options at the end of the year, Alex. Then you could look at, you brought it up on the phone, on text earlier, which is true. Miami could easily turn around in February, before the deadline, and move those contracts for players with expiring deals.
Yeah.
So, I don't hate that move whatsoever. I'd be okay with that. If you told me, hey, Chris Middleton, Bobby Portis, and some draft picks gets the deal done, I'm fine with it. Because I'm at the point now, too, where it's like, let's get rid of Jimmy. Just get it over with. Who cares? We can't use it. So before we get to Troy's question, and we will, Alex, just tell me what you think about that deal. And Lou, what's up, man? Lou Dominguez in the house. Great to see you, brother. Kevin as well. Will says he needs to go. Jimmy has become a full-blown cancer, which really sucks. It's gotten to that point, but that's by his doing. I don't want to hear all that extra stuff. He's making his own bed. Mm-hmm. But Alex, your thoughts though on that possible deal, and is there any other deal that we're missing out on that we should be thinking about?
Well, first and foremost, based on that, and part of having a sane front office with experience is that they're not going to rush through this, no matter how uncomfortable it is. You figured, and we talked about it. There was no way that he was going to go on the road with them. So they were going to find any excuse whatsoever to suspend him. And they found that he missed the team flight. Obviously, I'm not going to say it's petty, but it's officially, you can suspend someone for it's kind of insubordination. Like, you did not go as planned. You missed a rule, team flight, whatever the case may be. I'll suspend you for that. Fine. You can find another grievance. At this point, what they're doing is making sure you got to protect your asset. Number one, you can't have Jimmy playing there, because if he gets hurt, all this goes to shit, So that's one thing that you have to maintain. You have to manage your asset. In regards to what Will said, when you have a person that is disengaged at all cost, not enthusiastic, you can still be friends with the guys, but the vibes in the locker room When you're in the locker room and a player does not want to be there, you feel it. Not only as a coach, but your players feel it. And the team starts taking that as their persona. And that's when you see the games that he plays, we have spurts and all that, but we struggle because there's a de facto leadership. He used to be the alpha male, which was always going to be the difficult transition with him and Bam and all that. That's why people haven't been able to be themselves, is because you have a player that sucks the energy out of the room consistently as like an egocentric personality, which, like I said, you love Jimmy. You'll go to war to Jimmy. The way he's handled this, we knew it. We didn't expect it because we thought it was a little bit more mature, different organization, but you are who you are. In regards to the trade, Phoenix making that move, we understand is maybe it's not valuable assets, but it gives them the possibility to move first-round picks. Phoenix was capped because they only had one pick, 2031, and every other draft, they did not have control over any of their picks. So what they acquired from Utah was the right to choose, well, not the right to choose. They get the least favorable pick of any of the either Utah pick, Cleveland, or Minnesota. Remember, Utah has picks from Minnesota for the Rudy Gobert trade, and they have picks from Cleveland for the Marshall trade. So they gave them the option every single year that the Suns have that pick, or whoever acquires it, the furthest pick in the first round will be granted to that team. That's how that works. So it's just movable pieces, movable assets. The holdup here is finding a home for Bradley Beal. Milwaukee has to be enticed to take on Beal's contract, but it might not be Milwaukee. That's why a fifth team might be in the play, where I believe Milwaukee would take on Levine's contract. So if Chicago gets involved, Levine is an attractive piece to pair with Damian Lillard, Giannis Antetokounmpo. You're still kind of in that win mode, and you have Levine has revived his career, which I was talking the other day. I was like, based on this build, I would not mind taking him on, but I know the ideal position for Miami in any trade is either a movable piece. I don't believe they're going to take any contracts that runs further than 2026, because the plan here, Troy, to mention the build, Bam, Tyler, Ware, Jovic, and Pele, the plan here is 2026, when I understand it's going to be a huge free agency. And for a few years, NBA free agency has kind of been dormant because the mode of operation has been sign your extension and then force your way out, but get your guaranteed money. Before, free agency was a huge thing. Teams will love cap space. When the new CBA changed, a lot of teams were already in these big contracts, and now they're kind of resetting themselves, which you see some organizations doing by forcing themselves to make trades for financial reasons. And you're setting yourself up for availability to pursue these free agency, because the cap is going to continue to go up. Bam and Tyler are on the contract. Tyler is extension eligible. Tyler will get an extension next year. He will sign his extension. Now, in 2026, the Heat have cap space to sign a max free agent or acquire said free agent via trade with assets, because at that time, it'll be more of a sign and trade. But we will have space. That's why the Jimmy move, a lot of people are focusing on a draft compensation. Honestly, what they're looking for is flexibility. Obviously, they're not just going to give Jimmy away. You don't give Jimmy away just to give him away because he's being a pain in the ass. You're going to find a trade that is suitable for you. It might not be a win-win in the eyes of the common fan, but as a basketball organization, as a basketball front office, you understand what you're doing. You want to get your young guys playing time. If Jimmy's moved, automatically Jaime Jaquez, Pele Larson got playing time. They continue to develop. They continue to grow organically. Now, if you get Middleton and Portis, you have rotational pieces right there. You can still make a run this year in the East. Middleton is still a 3-level scorer. He's coming out of injuries. He has bad ankles. He's older. He cannot guard perimeter-oriented players as much, but he can guard the 4. He's a great rebounder. Bobby Portis does everything you need him to do. And other names that I'm still watching for, I want to see where Lonzo Ball ends up. I want to see where Brown from the Raptors ends up. So there's a lot of teams here that are coming into play. Milwaukee might use the Raptors or Detroit to facilitate a trade. They'll trade Cunningham to get under the second apron, so that way they can combine players and salaries to acquire another player. But realistically, I felt the deal was close. But after hearing the Chris Haynes report in regards to Beal in Milwaukee, that's a big hurdle. And honestly, there's usually a team that drives it. Whenever there's a 4 or 5 team trade, there's usually a team that wants to acquire a player so badly that they will accommodate a lot of things and they will look for the perfect scenario. This seems to be the Phoenix Suns. Why? Because it's the only team willing to give Jimmy an extension. It's the only team that it needs to make the moves necessary to acquire him because they have the player that has one of the two no trade clauses in the NBA, with the other one being LeBron James and Bradley Beal. He has a no trade clause and he controls his destiny. So I'm pretty sure Bradley Beal's agent is Mark Borlerstein, I think is his last name. His son is an executive for the Suns. So there's conversations there. There's professional conversations there. They're not just going to, well, they can't send Beal anywhere. They're going to try to find Beal. Beal will waive his no trade clause for a few teams. Now, would I be surprised if that team is Miami? Yes, I would. But if we take on Beal's contract, that means that we got a bunch of draft compensation. We got Ryan Dunn. Like, there's a lot of things that go into it. But Miami taking Bradley Beal's contract, to me, is in the last file on my mind right now, because I know they don't want anything to do with that. And Beal's playing decently, but he's not who he was. Levine's contract, maybe. But what you're looking for is expiring in Ball, in Brown, in Portis with player options, anything that doesn't go beyond 2026.
Alex, first off, shout out to everyone tuning in right now. You guys, we have over 195 people watching, whether you're watching through Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. We appreciate you wherever you're watching. If you're watching anywhere other than YouTube, hop over to YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button. We appreciate you all watching. East 10th Street Boys, shout out Leah, talking Miami Heat and Jimmy Butler. Alex, I'm going to let you answer Troy's question. I think this is perfect for you. Are you comfortable building the Heat with Bam, Tyler, Khalil Ware, Jovic, Pell for the next 3 to 4 seasons? Is this a top 4 contender in the East?
Absolutely. It will take time, but this is the model. Remember, we see now the Boston Celtics. We see the Orlando Magic. We see the Cleveland Cavaliers. A lot of those players were homegrown. And this is, I've tried to tell this to a lot of people in our coaching circle and in our friend groups. When the conversation comes up, I'm like, I don't think people understand the new CBA has made it where teams need to build their core at times through the draft. And if you notice, that's why Miami, I wouldn't say that we need assets. We're happy with what we have because we have now youth where Bam is the oldest player on this group and the core. You drafted Tyler, you drafted Bam. Before it was always undrafted players. Miami just undrafted players. Miami doesn't have assets. The core now is based on first-round picks that Miami made in the teens, and with Jovic being 27. So I do believe that the way the NBA is going, when you have Bam, when you have Jovic, when you have Ware, now you have functional size in your front court. You have spacing. When you have Tyler Hero, which is a 3-level scorer, he can score from the 3, from mid-range. He can score at the basket. You have pieces there to build. You have Pele. With Pele and Jaime, you have a dynamic duo where even Pele is even quicker defensively than Jaime. Pele has great basketball instincts, and he has an overall talent. And then not even to mention, you got Keshad Johnson coming off. You got Christopher in the D-League. You have legit basketball players that you're developing. You're still a star away, and that's the point of 2026. I believe this team is gearing to that. So by the time 2026 comes, that star that you acquire, which is probably in his late 20s, is already a complementary to this core where he might be the best player on the floor, but this team already has an identity. It's kind of like what Marshall did for Cleveland when they acquired him. It took him a year, but now you see what Cleveland is doing. Cleveland, all they did was trade for Marshall, but every other player was drafted. Oh, sorry, Mitchell. I keep saying Marshall. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Donovan Marshall. My bad.
Yeah.
I keep. It was like a brain fart. I'm like, Marshall. Why do I keep saying Marshall? When they traded for Mitchell, every other player was homegrown, and kind of like the Boston Celtics, Jaylen Brown, Tatum.
Yeah. I talked about this yesterday with my father-in-law. Because
that's a funny explanation.
What?
With him explaining to him what it is to develop.
Oh yeah. No, but we're pretty good. You know, we understand. But no, I was telling him that you look at these teams that build through just stars. Is we were finishing up the Heat game, and the Heat were of course losing, and I said, we just got to get this moving over. I said, this is why I'm okay with the Jimmy trade. I'm okay with this situation because we got these young players.
Yeah.
You got to let these young guys grow. Let them develop together. Even if it means missing the playoffs this season, let these guys grow. You look at teams like the Oklahoma City Thunder who developed through the draft.
Right there.
You let and you see how they grew. And,
and they just acquired SGA. That's
what I'm saying. Acquired. SGA came from the Clippers, but he wasn't SGA before he was there. He became that here. Mm-hmm. But you look at what they did. They bring in SGA. He develops into a superstar. Chet Holmgren develops into a superstar. Williams, those are homegrown guys. You look at Cleveland. That team was developed from scratch, draft picks, and then they finally go, okay, now let's go make the big move for the superstar, or Donovan Mitchell. And now look at them. That's what you look at teams like Orlando. Orlando is really built up of draft. That's a draft team where they could go. They could go tomorrow and trade for a star, whether whoever that may be. You could throw any name out there, and their teams would be 10 times better because guess what? Their foundation is solid. They're not built on this one player. That player, unless they do the stupid thing like the Lakers. Oh, we're going to bring in LeBron James and we're going to trade Anthony Davis. Guess what? We trade Lonzo. We trade this guy. We trade Ingram. We trade him. And guess what? Then you're looking going, wait, where the hell's our bench?
We got to now that you say Ingram, I haven't said much of Ingram, but I want to see if the Pelicans come into this trade as one of the 5th or 6th teams with the Ingram expiring deal. I'm going to be interested to see if they absorb some salary or whatnot. Like, it's going to be interesting how it plays out.
I think everybody from, and that I've seen, the majority, because there's a few people who are sold on riding on Jimmy's thing. And look, love Jimmy. I appreciate everything he's done. Once this is all over, a couple seasons down the line, we'll be looking back. Oh, man, that was fun, dude. Somebody said, will Jimmy Butler's Heat jersey be retired? Will number 22 be retired down the line? I think so. I think the Heat respect their legends. They respect the greatness. I mean, they retired Haslam. Jimmy did very good for the Heat. It's just ugly the way he ended it. But guess what? Oh, the Heat. Jimmy's done this in Minnesota. He's done this in Philly. He's done this in Chicago. And now he's doing it in Miami. People don't take that into account. They want to keep trying to, you have the Paul Pierces of the world, and you have the quote unquote Heat fans out there. I'd say with parentheses, the so-called Heat fans who are riding on that and blaming Miami for everything. And Jimmy was everything. Jimmy, somebody said Jimmy's better than Zoe or something like that. And you're like, come on, dude, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Like, really? Like, can't we just say what it is? There's the Heat should have done better managing their assets. Absolutely. They could have done better. It is what it is. I saw Troy right in there that the Phoenix Suns draft picks were trash. What they got, the Heat don't want that. That's probably all they're going to get. Let's stop overvaluing our guys. You're not going to get some top 10 draft pick, lottery pick. You're not going to get a star player.
The situation is what it is. It's a situation.
What it is. You're not getting
the value's down.
Yeah, that's what it is. He did that, and he's going to continue to do that.
Yeah,
and I think that's exactly what he probably told Mickey Arison. He said, and when he met with Mickey, they said, "I'll play. I'll be a good soldier. I'll play, but I'm not going to be. You're not going to see me smile. You're not going to see me be involved." And I'll make this as ugly as I can in my legal right. And again, he has, and he was emphasized that he said that he'll opt into his deal with the idea of being traded, or just opt in just to, again, tie up the Heat. And it is what it is. Yeah. So,
Oh, let me ask Kevin 2 things. Where become the star Bam feel to be? Bam is good, but not a star in my opinion. A lot of people have this image of Bam that in order for him to be a star, he needs to be averaging 25, 26 points on a nightly basis, 15 rebounds. And any given night, he could give that to you. But Bam's role in this team is an anchor defensively. He's the initiator offensively. He's the offensive hub at times. There's a situation to me that, in comparisons, Bam is a more diverse and more athletic version of Draymond Green in regards to the Steph Curry build and the Klay Thompson, where Draymond Green is not a superstar, but he was the key to those championship teams. Without Draymond Green, you don't win anything. That's just an example, like a comparison for people to understand. Now, can Bam score 20 points a game and get 10, 12 rebounds a game? Absolutely. But you have to go back to Bam's strengths. They went a little bit away from that in regards to him focusing on the three-pointer. You're going to see Bam now more of an initiator, getting to the basket. He has to get to the free throw line. Bam has to go downhill. He has to attack. He has a little mid-range.
Let me just – sorry, Alex. I just want to say this before I forget.
Go ahead.
Because, Kevin is saying, but you pay him max money. That's why I disagree a bit. But he understands your point. I will say, though, if the Heat didn't pay him max money, someone else will.
Oh, absolutely.
Someone else will, because he's absolutely worth it. He is – He's not your 30-20 big. He's not that. He's a facilitator. He's a facilitator.
You want to see what he's worth? Look at the Heat's defensive efficiency rating when he's on the court and when he's off. That right there alone will tell you.
Again, you go, but he's not having a good year. He should be this and this.
Yeah,
I get it. The 3 experiment, should it end? Sure. I think it's a good thing to keep in his repertoire when it's down, when the team is down and they need a shot or whatever. Can he do it? We know he can. Should he be doing 10 times a game? No. But we have to stop pretending that. I mean, I was pissed at Bam for a long time going, man, he needs to be more aggressive. He needs to go to the best. Stop passing the goddamn ball out. But you got to understand, that's who he is. He's a defensive playmaker. He's a facilitator. He's not, you're going to be, Tyler is your scorer, where Bam is your facilitator. It's a different, he's not a superstar. He is a star. And again, you're not going to pay him big bucks, the max contract. Other teams will, because he's worth that money. Lou says, I agree. I'm upset the way it's coming to an end, but he definitely deserves to have his 22 hang up in the rafters. 2 finals appearances, almost a third. His DNA all over the record books for the Miami Heat. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
That's true.
Everyone could feel whether, again, the people who are pissed at Jimmy Butler, like me, Alex, I know Lou, Ashley, the Lou and Ashley, 305 Sports Page, Kevin, whoever, have every right to be pissed at this situation. Have every right to be pissed at Jimmy Butler. This shouldn't be the way it is. You could easily have said, hey, man, I just want to be moved. Okay, let's work this out. If I can't move by the down, okay, but here's the thing. I was talking to my brother earlier. The camel that broke the straw that broke the camel's back, for Harrison was saying, was Pat Riley criticizing Jimmy. Well, okay, that's fair, but here's the problem with that. Let me go back. Jimmy said he loves that. He loves when you come at him. That's what he loved about Heat culture. So all of a sudden now you have an issue with it? Oh, well, the Heat didn't give him the money. Well, he said at the beginning of the season, that's okay. His job is he's going to do his job, and he'll worry about that when the time comes. Now all of a sudden that's not the case. Oh, but now it's not about the money or the comments. It's about being the third guy behind Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo. That's the latest report that came out. But he's okay being the third guy behind Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. So what is it? It's very simple. Jimmy does not want to be here. That's it. He's done. He said, hey, to him, maybe he goes, this team's not going anywhere. I'm done. They're not going to pay me. I don't want to be here. Let me go. So what is he going to do? He's going to cry wolf. He's going to say, don't worry, the truth's going to come out one day. What truth? It's just what it is. It sucks that it's gotten to this point. But the same reason why 22 is going to get retired is the same reason why number 6 will get retired.
Oh, yeah.
LeBron, LeBron was amazing for the short time he was here. He won 2 championships, but that didn't end pretty. Him and Pat didn't end up pretty. I mean, he didn't even talk to Pat when they were having the meeting. But guess what? He'll have his jersey retired. Shaq was not pretty. Shaq and Pat Riley had to be held back. Shaq wanted to come back after he got traded to fight Pat. He didn't, but Shaq's retired. So
and
Butler will be retired, and he will deserve it.
2 more things for Kev, because they asked me. The Ingram wouldn't necessarily hurt the wear and Bam progress, because Ingram, he's a scorer. He's gonna open up actually the lanes for Bam and Ware, and defensively Bam can guard the wing. So I would not, and honestly, it gives you more size in all positions, flexibility, and it gives you scoring for that lineup with Hero. It kind of relieves the Hero a little bit. And yes, the build with Bam, you're gonna see a different version of Bam when Jimmy is no longer here, no matter who comes. You're gonna see a different version of Bam. You're gonna see a more efficient Bam. His assist numbers will probably go up. His rebounding might go down a little bit. His scoring will probably uptick another point or two this season. But now you're just going to see a more efficient version of Bam, where He is allowed to create. He's allowed to be himself. Bam has played many roles that he's been asked to do. Bam can score with anybody in this league. But in this offense, with his team, that's not really a necessity. That's not what is the mode of operation for the scheme that they run. But you will see a different version of Bam in this build. He's still going to be your defensive anchor, but now he's going to have the flexibility to play the perimeter D, to be roaming around where Ware kind of plays that drop coverage and he's guarding the rim. So it's going to open up a lot of things, and it's going to be the epitome of what you're going to have is flexibility in your lineups throughout. You're going to have athletes throughout. And then the next thing comes Rozier. I'm intrigued to see if they can somehow manage to move Rozier because I'm willing to bet that they'll give up one of those first picks that they're acquiring just to get rid of Rozier and out of that out of the rotation and all that, to give the young guys more. But hey, man, I don't see it dragging out until February 6th, but this might be of who calls each other's bluffs first. So the Miami, I can guarantee you this. The Miami Heat will not be rushed, no matter how messy it gets. Obviously, they want to move Jimmy. They are adamant that they want to move him. They're doing their due diligence. They want to get it done as soon as possible, but they will not take a deal that they do not like just because of the situation. They will manage it, but they're not just going to take any deal. So people that are going like, oh, let's just take it, they're not going to do it. And if it drags all the way to February 6th, they will drag it out. And if it doesn't get traded, and they will make sure he doesn't opt in. And if he opts in, they will still find a way to get it done. Like, trust me.
I don't know. It's not going to last till February 6th. But if it does, they're not going to let it. But if they do, don't worry. And then they're not going to let him opt in. But if he does opt in, man, shit's going to get real. You see, Alex should be a politician. You see what I'm saying?
I got you, man. I got you.
You got all the different.
I'm giving you every realistic scenario because
you just gave us every scenario. That's it.
No, but it's true. Jimmy doesn't have any leverage this offseason. There's no cap space available in a contender. And realistically, I'm just know this, which is hilarious. Basketball gods are funny. He's going into a situation where it's not going to be more productive. He's going to get more playing time. Obviously, his numbers are going to be through the roof, but he has to be a defensive anchor over there, which is the same thing that he could have done over here. Yeah, still get his extension.
But that's the point. He doesn't want to do it here because he doesn't want to be behind. Well, that's the saying now, is that he doesn't want to report. He doesn't want to be doing it behind Jimmy and Tyler.
Exactly.
I mean, exactly. Tyler and Bam. He wants,
which is ridiculous.
Whatever. And it's, I mean, but my thing is, dude, here's my thing.
You helped build it.
I want to. Yeah, that's my point. This is your legacy.
Like Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan gave it over to Kawhi Leonard.
But it's like
Tony Parker.
You know, he still thinks he's it and whatever. That's okay. Yeah. You can't hate him on that. But the way he does it, that's what I'm hating on. You didn't have to go about it this way. But I will say, again, it's like, Jimmy, you are the face. Even if Tyler and Bam were the leading guys, you're the face of the organization. You were. The fans look at you. They love you. They pray, all this, whatnot. You had it all. You did, you don't, the thing about Miami, we want championships, especially Heat. That's all it's about, is winning championships. But in the end, you don't need to win a championship to get a jersey hanged up in the rafters and get the love and the admiration of the fans. You put your body on the line, your heart on the line. I mean, that finals against the Lakers when Dragic was out and he played the whole 40 minutes of 2 games or whatever. He was killing himself out there. That makes you immortal in Miami Heat history. That makes you almost equal, not equal, but almost equal to LeBron and D Wade. Yeah. And they won the championships.
But it's just honestly it's about the money.
What you put on the court was enough. I know. Is it really now to the point is, let me just get the money I need to get, or let me go play where I'm about to be, where it's the most fun.
That's what it's money.
That's what kills me, man. You're killing this. At the end, 10 years from now, whenever you retire, the Heat retire your jersey, and we'll be watching on TV, or those who are at the arena will be at the arena, and thank you, Jimmy, and you see the jersey, he's smiling there with his coffee and shit, and but at the same time, it's not going to be the same. It won't be the same because we're going to remember what you did. That's what sucks.
He could have fixed, and this is what people don't understand. I know he doesn't care, because I could understand Jimmy in one thing. Not liking people. I don't like talking to people. If I was a basketball player like that, I would not want to talk to the media every day. But I understand it's part of you have to build a relationship with the local media. You have to build a relationship with the community. What I guarantee you this, it's very difficult, and this is where the Miami Heat made a mistake. It's very difficult to correct limitations when you've eased them for a player. You can't reel Jimmy back and now start, no, you can't go on your own. You got to stay with the team. When you have rules, regulations as a team, you need to enforce them from the beginning. If you allow it for a year, 2 or 3 years, you can't reel it back. Now, with Jimmy, it's just a situation about money. He could have fixed his whole legacy if he really cared about it. Like you just said, aging gracefully. He would have gotten an extension with Miami, but less value per year, maybe in the 30 range. Now the only thing Phoenix has to do is find someone that takes Beal's contract. And what Phoenix is doing is trading off. Do I rather pay Beal 3 years, $60 million a year, or do I rather pay Jimmy 3 years, $60 million a year? That's it. That's the only difference they're doing, because they're going to give Jimmy the same contract that Beal has right now per annual average. So all they're doing is picking the lesser of Eagles.
Yeah, and again, I see, he's probably saying Tyler Hero over me.
You can't suspend them, Lewis, over and over. You got to find reasons to suspend them. You can't just suspend the player.
It has to be a mutual agreement between the player and the organization about
if he wants to stay. Exactly, correct. With payment.
But this is why you again, and you could trade him to the lowest bidder. Whatever team is desperate enough to say, we'll just take him. I don't care if he stays with us.
Yeah.
And then just get rid of him. Because if you're not going to be able to keep suspending him, and I'm sure that he could find reasons, but if you can't keep suspending him, or he agrees not to stay away, because, my God, you're watching the Heat. They're all these young players. Jimmy would be great with a Khalil Ware.
Amazing.
What he can do, not just on the court, but off the court. Giving him that. Look what he did with Jovic and those guys. Look what he could do for Hawkins. He would have been awesome.
This is the part that I don't understand.
Yeah, he'll give him reasons. I agree with. I say again, they'll find reasons to suspend Jimmy. I mean, he eye rolled the coach. No, sorry. They'll make shit. Whatever. What are they gonna do? By the time they fight it with the appeals, he'll be back, and then they'll suspend his ass again, wearing different colored shoes. I don't know.
There are ramifications for that. You can't just keep suspending.
No, you'll say, hey,
suspend them. Fuck it.
No, you have to ride the team bus. He didn't ride the team bus. Say, fine. You're suspended.
He got here a minute late. Boom, you're done.
He got here a minute early. You're not supposed to be here at this time. Get your ass over there.
What are you doing in the facilities on the weekend?
You can't drink Jimmy coffee. You got to only drink Starbucks now. Oh, you're drinking Jimmy. Oh, you're suspended. Get the fuck out. That's what I'm saying. They'll find reasons. My thing is, I agree with Lou. He can't be anywhere near the Heat anymore. I'm done with him. No. And I don't want to say, oh, you hate Jimmy. No, I don't. No, I love what Jimmy's legacy is in Miami. I'll cheer for him when the time comes, when he's, whatever. And I'll celebrate his legacy, what he did with the Heat while he was here. But he needs to go. It needs to be gone. It's not good for the young players. That story that came out about him traveling with his own and staying at Airbnbs are true. The Heat put up with Jimmy days off his whole time. Yeah.
Those that are saying you cannot relax your MO, you cannot relax your discipline standard, your regulations, the culture that you've built, and then reel it back. I understand the whole situation with his father. Of course, that is an excuse thing.
No,
but I have never heard of a player. I'm pretty sure it has, but Jordan will stay in the same hotel, just in the suite. He wouldn't share a room with anybody, but he was in the same vicinity. Even though he did his own thing, he did whatever he wanted. And I'm pretty sure other players have done it. But you can tell there was a disengagement as the years went on. When Jimmy first came, it was a complete opposite. But like everything happens, the relationship
I just started thinking about it. It's a coincidence that this started happening when UD retired. That all of a sudden
that's a part of that's a
because I don't know if this would be the case if UD
supposedly the Kyle Lowry years. Whereas when he started acting up even more, because he got his guy, and then he started alienating a lot of people. There's a lot of rumors, supposedly, that the support staff of the team, like the assistants, the medical staff, and all that, are dying for him just to be moved because they've had to put up with a lot. There's a lot of things that go behind the scenes. Like, you don't see Jimmy doing community outreach with a Heat. That all falls under Bam. Bam is the face of the franchise. Jimmy does his things. But if you notice, you don't see Jimmy in the Family Fest. You don't see Jimmy in at least these last couple of years. And like, I get it. I understand. he's a different person. But there are things that if you want to be, and I would not be surprised if part of the reason that he was also upset is that he wasn't chosen as captain when UD retired. When you're the megastar, when you're the superstar, and the franchise unanimously picks Bam, you already know, like, is this really my team or not? It's the psyche of who he is. Other people can handle it, but when you had UD, you had that respect factor. Obviously, he's the captain. But if he's retiring, I'm the elder statesman, and I'm the leader of this team. I'm the heartbeat of this team, and I'm not captain. I'm like, there's a reason you weren't chosen to be captain, and supposedly he didn't want it, but that's bullshit. All these superstars are egotistical.
But I don't believe anything now that Jimmy says because he didn't want it. Well, he said he was okay with not being getting the money. Now he has an issue. Oh, he's okay playing with Jimmy and Bam. Now he has a problem with that with Hero. Yeah. He's okay with Pat Riley and Coach Spo calling him out. Oh, not really. It's like, come on, dude. What do we believe now?
And you could tell when he split up with Spo. Well, I mean, he had real injuries. Yeah. He had real injuries. There were real injuries there. There were some days off, but there was real injuries there, like the whole meniscus or the MCL.
But I agreed with Pat. First off, when Pat Riley said, remember when he was like, "Oh, if I played, we would have won that game." I said the same thing, dude. If you're not on the court, shut the hell up.
Yeah, man.
You're hardly available. We pay you all this money. You're only playing 60 games a year or 50 games a year.
Yeah.
And then you have the balls to say that when you don't go to battle with your guys, you're saying, "Oh, if I was on the court, we would have won." Dude, get the hell out of here. Be on the court then.
You know what's my theory here, Bobby? And I would not be surprised if this is true.
As you snort your cocaine?
Sorry. No, man. Come on, man. What are you talking about? It's cold. I'm chilly.
Yeah, sure. Pablo Escobar.
that booger sugar. I think that Pat as well did it for the organization. How do you get someone to create such a mess that you are justified in not re-signing him? You create a mess where you put it in his court because you know it's going to provoke him. So he's going to act out. And then, eventually, I don't think, this is just a theory of mine. I don't think they did it on purpose, but it's kind of like a reverse psychology thing where you call him out and you know he's going to be upset and you know he might act out and you know you might move him. But it still doesn't make sense because you move him in the offseason. His trade value is super high. So I don't think they expected him to get to this level. And something had to happen in season because he started the year in preseason and everything was clicking. Everything was fine. They were in rhythm. And then it kind of started going haywire when he missed a few games and all that. But I would not be surprised if Pat Riley's like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna give it to him, and he's gonna get upset, and we're gonna be okay because we don't want to re-sign him. So now we have a justification. I'm like, look, we tried to negotiate with you. We were willing to wait for the offseason. You acted out, and boom, you just freed the organization. So I would not be surprised, man. I would do it.
Talking about cocaine, I meant to bring this up earlier.
Segue.
Yeah, I had to because I don't want to forget. I will. So Tati and I, Tati asked me to take her to Publix. She doesn't like to drive, even though she can. She's like, "Oh, take me to Publix." I'm like, "Huh, all right." I was coming back from a doctor's appointment. So she's like, I took her to Publix, and she was buying, the cake for her mom. It's Jeannie's birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Jeannie.
Happy birthday, Jeannie.
And Tati was so upset. First of all, Tati was so upset because, the kids call Jeannie Gima. 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 G-E-E-M-A. Gima.
It's like grandma and Mima.
Yeah, exactly. So Tati, of course, told the Publix guy, which is always the same guy, nobody different. Tati's like, this is why men shouldn't. All of a sudden, it became some kind of sexist thing in Publix. That's why men shouldn't do anything with cakes. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, hold on, what?
All of a sudden, you put on your man cape. I'm like, wait a second.
Like, yo,
we can't be bakers. We can't.
I'm supposed to sit there because you put a ring on my finger, or vice versa. Like what? Yeah. But no. So they wrote Geena, Geena. And Tati was like, and went to the lady, and she was like, "Oh, they spelled it wrong." And she's like, "Oh, well, what we'd have to do is cut it and then put the M there, but we don't have a designer here today." And I'm like, Tati, I said I could do that, if you want to do it. And she's like, whatever. So then she goes, "See, this is why men shouldn't do the cakes." And then I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "How did you say it to him?" That I said the issue with Tati, she over explains things because she talks English because her first language is Spanish. She taught herself English. But I've realized now
Yeah.
that my wife speaks English like she's speaking Spanish. You know, in Spanish, with a lot of it's very over. Like if you actually translate,
a lot of hands, a lot of
over explaining.
Yeah,
over explaining.
But all you got to do is write it. Just write it for them.
Dude. Well, no, she was on the phone. But here's the thing. Like she's like, she told me how she said it, and she'll probably put it in the message here because now all of a sudden, since we're talking about her, she's in the comments. Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah,
she hasn't been here the whole time, but now here she comes. Everybody duck. But she's on the phone and she tells me, I said, what did you say to him? Because I already knew how this was going to go. And she's like, oh, I want you to write happy birthday, Gima, which is another word for grandmother. And, but they call her Gima. So just with a GE and just like half and half. Thank you, Lou. Thank you. So I tell Tati, I said, you see, here's your problem. I'm telling you in the store. And I'm going to get to the cocaine in a second. Just want to throw that out.
Yeah, like I'm still trying to find the segue.
I promise I'll get to the cocaine in a second. But anyway, so look, so I tell her, here's the problem. Oh, I said Gima as in grandma, but Gi in the beginning. First off, we live in Tennessee. You're dealing with white people. You're confusing them. Short, sweet. I said, Tati, this is how it should have went. I've done most of their birthday cakes with the kids, or Tati, you know, you say, because Tatiana has a odd, you know, the Tatianna, or Melendez. You used to have to spell it out, Alex.
Yeah.
So I say, Tati, what it should have been was happy birthday, Gima. Let me spell Gima for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Geem as in Mary.
Yeah.
A. Oh, got it. Done. Now you're happy because now you can take your Facebook pictures and it says Gima, not Gina, and you're feeling pretty good about yourself, you know? So Tati, of course, went the whole thing about this is why men shouldn't. I'm like, I have the same guy all the time. It's the guy with the glasses. It's the
my
guy.
Cakes are fine.
And it always comes. And so now she's anyway. That's the cake story.
Poor guy got fired.
You're like, so that poor guy, the assistant manager at the Publix bakery, just went into work and they're like, dude, you spelled this wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, you're gone, buddy.
Yeah. Do you speak Spanish? No. Fired. You're like,
fired.
Wait,
gone.
in Tennessee. So anyway, Troy's like, okay, let's get back to talk of the heat. We're in the Bobby.
Yeah,
we're in the Bobby.
He will get 50 million a year.
That's right. Yeah, Team Bobby. There we go. That's right. So anyway, Tati tells me, can you push the cart? You know, whatever. I'm not even supposed to be here, but I guess I will. So I start pushing the cart, you know, and she goes, I'm going to go look for the Coke. So I said, okay. So it's aisle 7, Alex. I find aisle 7. I'm standing there like a jackass. I'm like, where the hell is she? She's not there. I'm like, you know, so I say, let me go to the next. I look around, go back towards the bakery.
Nowhere.
She's cursing out
Nowhere.
the poor guy. I don't know. She's not there. All of a sudden I get a message. Come to aisle 7. I told you I was looking for Coke. So I'm getting to it, Kevin. So I told her, I said, I was just in aisle 7 the whole time. So anyway, we get the sodas. We put them on the cart. We get to the lane there. You know, and I felt like being a jackass. You know me, Alice. I like to have fun, piss her off, have some fun with it, which I'm doing now. It's okay. We've been married long enough. What is she gonna do? You know. Yeah. Anyway.
Divorce.
Oh no, just like, oh no, I'm free. No.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Jimmy, I can make this ugly.
You think Jimmy can make this ugly? Yeah. Wait,
you want me to wash the dishes? You want me to wipe my own ass? No, ma'am.
No. So we go. So after we get the sodas, or we get with the fun, whatever the hell we need, we go to the register. And we're still talking about the Cokes, you know. And like, well, I was staying there the whole time. What happened? So she goes, well, I texted you. And I open the text in front of the guy and the lady. There's an old lady doing the thing, doing the register, and the young guy is there. And all of a sudden I go, come down. So I go, oh, you meant Coca-Cola. Oh, come out and say, oh, I thought you meant Coca-Cola. I thought you were talking about cocaine. I said out loud. She goes, oh, Bobby. And the guy started laughing. He goes, actually, no, that was the original ingredient. I said, you see?
It was.
You see, so everybody's laughing. And my poor wife was all, ah! You know, I was like, oh, you married me. You know,
sucks for you.
The daily life of Bobby and Tati. The shit we
Tati, how do you not know? If you're looking for Coke, you know Bobby's gonna take it to the place.
I know where the Coke
you
is.
Cannot go. Come on. He doesn't know where the milk is. He doesn't know where the cheese is. Oh yeah.
She'll know right where the hip. She'll aim for the hip. I go, oh baby, hold on. Oh shit.
Oh no. And
Oh no.
and it's freezing, so I know the hip is on fire.
You can't even by saying Coke. I know your last name is Melendez. You can't even be saying Coke. I know. Yeah, I know. I got to be careful nowadays. You know, it's like Hispanic.
You gotta be very careful.
Ice, no, just playing. Just playing.
Yeah. Is that a white Mexican? I think Roberto Melendez. Oh, for sure, he's Mexican.
When I moved to Tennessee, see, when I was in Miami, I was the gringo. When I went to Tennessee, I'm the
times change,
Hispanic.
right? Times change.
I remember the girl asked me,
who's scared now, boy?
Name, love her to death. But at work, when she asked me, she goes, "When you and Tatiana argue, do you guys argue in your language?" I remember I was sitting at my desk. I turned around like, in our language? Like, wait, what's our language? What's our language? What? Don't get nervous now. I mean, what's our language? What are you talking about? Spanglish? I'm like, what? Oh man, it's all good. I remember when we enrolled, when we moved in the area, and we registered with our church, and which is awesome, you know, St. Philip, and I put Robert Melendez and Tatiana Irizarry. I'm pretty sure I put Tati's because she didn't take that last name, but sometimes we put Melendez in there. But I put our name, and I put Robert. My uncle was Roberto. I was Robert. But when we get the little email from the church, the Catholic Church, it says Mr. Roberto, Mr. and Mrs. Roberto Melendez. I'm like, oh hell no! I'm like, come on, dude. You know, I'm like, what is this? Like,
deported.
There's no such thing here. Deported.
Ain't no one saving you now, son.
Not me, El Chapo Melendez. El Chapo.
The priest is like, "Oh, is that Roberto?" Oh,
yeah.
Oh, for
Your little micro. He's here. Get him.
No. Deport this Puerto Rican, but Puerto Rican's a state territory. Deport him. What?
Deport that Puerto Rican.
What?
We don't know what the hell. Is he Cuban or Puerto Rican? He says he's white. I don't know what he is. Get the fuck out of here. No. The other guys, I just want to know.
What I love is there are ignorant people out there that legit will believe, yeah, we should deport all Puerto Ricans back to Puerto Rico. I'm like, do you know Puerto Rico is part of the United States, my man? Like,
oh man, El Chapo Melendez. That's pretty good.
Chapo Melendez, that's awesome. Instead of El Jefe, it should be El Chapo. That's not bad.
Oh my gosh.
Rather than the guy was deported to Jamaica. Dude doesn't even have a family in Jamaica. He was born in the U.S. They're just gonna start deporting people anywhere, bro, anywhere. It's like, hello.
He's gonna go. I've always wanted to go. All right, that's free trip.
Right,
I mean,
free
whatever. You know,
free trip, and I'm gonna sue you.
Oh, what's up? The Dive Bar Podcast. Bobby, what's up, my man? Coming in at the right time. We're having too much fun over here.
Let's see what's the weather here? How cold is it over here? Let me see. Let me check this. 57. Okay.
Ooh,
57. Ooh, boy.
What is it?
Ooh,
is it probably
it's going to get Miami, to 46 on Saturday. Yeah. I'm like 5 minutes away from Hialeah.
Actually, it's 58 in Hialeah, so you're wrong.
Oh, watch out.
1 degree off. 53 in Melbourne and 72 in Puerto Rico.
9 degrees in Pittsburgh. Whoa.
Oh, man. Good times. Everybody settle down. He's like, what did I walk into? We just like to have fun here, man. Man, we got over 200 and almost 290 people watching. That's pretty cool, man. Appreciate everybody watching us this late hour. This is what we do, you know. Get your cafecito, chill out with us. It's 9 degrees here this morning. Yeah.
Damn, SGA just went off for 54 points.
The dude's a beast, man.
Oh my God, man. He's
saw a question earlier, and I'm sorry if I missed it.
Oh, Bob, hold on. Before I forget. Do you think the Jacksonville situation, I just posted that has like Pete Carroll written all over it. Do you think he will be entertained by that as football in control of football operations too?
Tati's catching Bobby up on everything.
Being deported.
Yeah. Thanks, Kevin. Well, Pete Carroll, man. First off, they so mismanaged that whole situation in Jacksonville. I mean, at least they fired their GM and realizing they didn't force a GM on the coach. But
they missed a lot of opportunities with coaches.
They did. I'm locked in now. They did. I mean, Pete Carroll makes a lot of sense. I heard Robert Saleh might be the guy, but then what do you do at general manager? But Pete Carroll would make a lot of sense if you were to say, hey, man, I'm going to give you the full thing. You're the team president. You're the head coach. You hire your own GM, and we roll out that way. You would think, though, with a decent young quarterback, because we don't know what he's going to be when he comes back. He hasn't lived up to his expectations, but he's still good, where you can walk in and go, okay, let's try it with him and move forward. But even though I don't think Robert Saleh is a bad coach, it would be a failure if he's the coach.
Yeah.
It would be a bad, it won't be a successful situation.
It would be like Adam Gase being hired by the Jets. And it's nothing against Saleh.
Hey, let me just say, too, because Russ Morgan was in the comments. Russ is the host of the On Deck Baseball podcast here on FTSN, but he's a Jets and a Celtics fan, so he's the worst of both worlds. And a Yankees fan. But great dude.
Why is he part of the network? It's horrible. That's horrible, man.
I'm just saying.
You just legit went over like everything that we would not allow. It's like, wait a second, you're a Jets fan?
So that just shows how who I am as a person, that I'm open to everybody. You know what I mean?
I like that.
Come all, welcome, whatever. But we do get on each other because he'll he hates the Dolphins with a passion, and I can't stand. And then when he told me he was a Celtics fan, I'm like, oh, dude, I'm gonna cut you. Like, what are you talking about?
An episode?
Just delete.
What is this guy?
Actually, he has a great show tomorrow. He'll be on tomorrow night with Rolando Garcia, right? Or Garza. I think
it's Garza. Or
Rolando Garcia. Rolando Garcia of Long Beach State University, pitching coach, formerly of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, okay.
It'll be very cool. 9:00 tomorrow night on FTSN, talking about obviously Garcia's career, but also current baseball landscape and everything else. But the Jets, I got to give them credit, man. They got Aaron Glenn, and I think I'm afraid that's going to be a home run hire. I like Aaron Glenn, so I got to talk. That's what I was going to bring up with the Jets. Mike Shula from the Rams brings Shula home.
Isn't it Chris Shula? Or
no, it's Mike. It's Mike.
Mike Shula of the Rams? I thought it was Chris.
No, Mike. Pretty sure it's Mike.
Sure.
Yeah. You always get names wrong. I don't know who Chris Shula is.
Me?
Yeah. No, I mispronounce names. You just get shit wrong.
Let's confirm.
You're like, that guy, Bobby, that guy's like 6'10", 500 pounds, right?
Let's see.
Let's
see. Rams?
You're going to be a dick about it?
I'm going to be a super dick about it.
Well, that's shame on you because you're going to
be a hard dick about it. What? No, man. It's Chris Shula. I know. Crazy, bro.
Nah, man. Chris is his middle name. Mike's the first name. Chris is
unbelievable. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Defensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Rams, Chris Shula.
You're petty as hell.
Man, you got why can't you admit? Oh shit, that's true. It isn't. Unbelievable, bro. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Mike Shula's an offensive coach. Come on.
Shame on you.
Disgust me. You disgust me.
Look bad. You should apologize to Lou for doing that. That's a shit.
On the contrary, you're welcome, Lewis.
That's a dick move, bro. Alex, I was thinking about something. Obviously, we're having a lot of fun.
Go ahead.
That's all right, Chris. I accept it.
I'm just messing with you, Lewis. Don't worry about it. It's all right,
bro. I accept it, Lou. Don't worry. It's fine. I was trying to have your back on that one. Made me look bad. It's cool.
Bobby knew from the beginning. Like, it's not Mike Shula.
I knew the whole time, bro.
It's David Shula. What? What are you talking about, dude? The Bengals coach? What are you talking?
Let me see.
Belichick, get him out of North Carolina. I'm still intrigued of who the Raiders have interviewed.
Oh, the Raiders.
And the Cowboys are a joke.
They just hired a GM.
Yeah, the Cowboys are a joke, man. They're interviewing again Brian Schottenheimer. Nothing against Brian Schottenheimer. He hasn't been a head coach anywhere. Jerry Jones just wants a coach that he can just go over. Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy's a finalist with the Saints, right?
He should be.
Okay.
I don't hate on that. Look, Brian, the situation in Dallas, it is what it is. As long as Jerry Jones is running that team as a de facto GM and everything, it's going to be what it is. So I don't hate on the Brian Schottenheimer thing. His dad, Marty Schottenheimer, legend, love him to death. Maybe he ends up surprising some people. So, get whoever you're comfortable with. You got to get someone who's going to be comfortable with the roster you're building and try to do the best, I want to put Alex to the test.
Go ahead. Fire away.
I'm gonna do a Miami Heat quiz. I'm just trying to find the right one.
Okay.
And,
go ahead.
There's a few of them here, but I'm trying to find one.
Anything like pre 91, 92, you might have me, but I'll see.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that first, and let's see how you do.
Okay.
And maybe we'll do one. There'll be another one that we'll do another one, maybe like LeBron James type of situation.
Okay, go ahead.
But this one's gonna be: can you name every first round draft pick in Heat history?
Oh no, I mean I can name
the
first one.
Don't be a dick. No, don't be. Wait a second.
Ronnie Cycli.
Oh, I have to write it. I ain't gonna write all that shit. I gotta type that in. Oh man, multiple choice, man. What are we doing here? I ain't gotta do all that.
Yeah, no, come on.
Yeah, I can spell all that. Ronnie Cycli. Come at me with a hard one.
Ronnie Cycli, which is a DJ, by the way. And once he got traded because he was such good looking that all the players' wives wanted to be with him, so he got traded because even the coaches' wives wanted to be with him. I forgot what team. I think he was playing in Orlando at that time.
This might be interesting. Let me look at it first, and then I'll let you know.
Aaron Glenn, remember he was on the wrong side of the Marinos. Yeah, I think they got a great coach. They got a great coach in Aaron Glenn. He was due. And the Lions, Bobby. I know they lost against the Commanders, but the Lions lost both of their coordinators. So I don't think I'm not too down on them, but I think the Lions might have peaked in regards to with golf situation. I think we saw them be the best that they're gonna be this year. Now that I see Aaron Glenn, because they'll get another coordinator. They're fine. They'll promote from within too. So
okay.
This might
be better.
That's true. All right, go ahead. Fire away.
All right. Who led the Miami Heat in points per game in the NBA 2022-23 regular season? Adebayo, Butler, Hero, Oladipo.
22-23?
Yeah.
I think it was Hero. It was definitely Hero or Butler. I think it was Hero. Oh, no, Butler. Butler was a slight edge over him.
You already said Hero. It was Butler. It was Butler.
It was Here, dig dog.
Yeah. You said Hero.
Hero.
You gotta be sure. Hero. You're like, hold on. My final answer.
All right, Butler.
Final
That's
answer.
Fine.
Like you gotta be
final
specific.
Answer.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, thanks.
All right.
Appreciate it.
2013. In 2013, LeBron James became the first in the NBA to have 30-plus points and shoot over 60% for how many games in a row? 6, 3, 9, 12.
6.
You sure?
Yeah.
Final answer.
Final answer.
That's good. Yeah, you got that one.
I remember that stretch. That stretch was impressive.
You remember a lot of stretches. What 2022-23 Heat 22-23 Heat player won an NBA championship in 2019? Butler, Morris, Oladipo, or Lowry?
Lowry.
Lowry. Okay.
We're Raptors.
That's right. Miami Heat star Dwayne Wade's first signature shoe was released by what brand?
Converse.
Adidas, Reebok, Converse, or Nike?
Converse. Still one of my favorite shoes. Whenever the Wade shoes in 05, or was it 05, 06? Still one of my favorite shoes ever.
What is Miami Heat point guard Tim Hardaway's name for his deadly crossover dribble? The UTEP two-step, the jockstrap dropper, Elizabeth, or the lookout?
UTEP two-step.
Look at you. You would have been undefeated, except you would have said final answer on Tyler.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it, man.
How many games did the Miami Heat win in their first season? 55, 5, 15, or 45?
15.
You son of a bitch. Very good. Well, this is bullshit. That one, everybody knows that one. You should. When did the Miami Heat franchise start?
1988.
Come on, guys. Ted Arison, Miami Heat owner, founded which company?
Carnival Cruise Lines.
Yeah, see, and we both know that one.
My mom retired.
I hate that. I hate when they're. I know. That's why I'm like, come on, man. What number seed were the Heat entering the 2023 NBA playoffs? 5th, 2nd, 6th, 8th.
23? 8th.
Yeah. Which Miami Heat star suffered a season-ending injury on December 19th, 2007? Alonzo Mourning, Dwayne Wade, Shaquille O'Neal, or Sean Marion?
Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade? Wrong. Alonzo Mourning. I knew that one.
It was the Achilles. Got you. Yeah. It was the last season. Dwayne was already out with a shoulder in Houston. Okay, got you.
Now we're back to a perfect world. Alex got another one wrong. I feel better about everything now. All right. Who did this you should know because that you're pretty good at these parts. Who did the Miami Heat acquire in a 2008 deal that sent Shaquille O'Neal to the Phoenix Suns? Jason Kidd, Bobby Jackson, Sean Marion, Brent Barry.
Sean Marion and Marcus Banks.
It's just one guy. You don't have to be over glottis about it. I asked you 4 names.
Gotcha.
But yes, you're right. Sean Marion. How many games did the Miami Heat win in the 2022-23 regular season? 40, 24, 22, 44.
44.
Stupid ass comment question. I feel like skipping that one. What number does Bam Adebayo wear for the 2022-23 Miami Heat team? What kind of dumbass question? Skipping that one. Don't even answer.
13.
Okay. Who led the Miami Heat? Yeah. Whoa. Who led the Miami Heat in 3-pointers made in the 22-23 regular season? Lowry, Hero, Strauss, Robinson.
Robinson.
That's the final answer?
Yeah, I'm going to go Robinson, even though it's probably Hero, but I'm going to go Robinson.
It was wrong. It was Hero.
It was Hero?
So that's 3 now.
There you go. I appreciate it.
Honestly, I would have said Strus. Like if it wasn't Robinson, I would have thought Strus.
Yeah. Because those were the years that Robinson was playing limited minutes, which ridiculous.
Even Lou even says
the Strus.
Yeah, I thought it was Strus, but
Strus is loose.
Who had 26 points and 10 rebounds in Game 7 of the 2023 Eastern Conference Final? Hero, Martin, Adebayo, Butler.
Which
Martin,
one?
Right?
Yeah, I think it was Martin. 2023.
Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Final. Yeah. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have answered that.
It's Martin.
I don't have the answer in front of me, but I think it's Martin.
But I think it's Martin because he was close to being Eastern Conference Finals MVP.
It was Martin.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, I won't answer that ahead of time.
Man, I get not in front of me, but I just 23-24.
Yeah. Which team did the Miami Heat defeat to win the NBA championship in 2013?
2013?
Yeah.
Oh, the Spurs.
That's right.
And 2012 was the Thunder.
Was it LeBron won't go, rebound, Bosh, out talent, 3 bang. Love that. I could watch that over and over and over and over and over again.
Tell Vivito, I was trying to get it, but he left. Oh yeah, my son had a basketball tournament this past weekend, and JJ Barrera was there with his son.
Nice. Oh man,
I know he loves JJ.
Awesome. Loves anything Puerto Rican. He loves.
Yeah,
he will cheer on any team that has a Puerto Rican on it. Who did the Miami Heat sweep in the first round of the 2020 NBA playoffs? Magic, Pacers, Clippers, Hawks.
Pacers.
That's right. How many more regular season wins did the Heat have than the Celtics in the 21-22 season? 12 more wins, 9 more wins, 6 more, 2 more.
2 more.
That's a guess. It's bullshit. How do you? I was like, got him on this one. Why?
That was
what was the first year the Miami Heat? Yeah. What was the first year the Miami Heat made it to the NBA Finals? 2006, 2003, 4, or 2001?
2006.
Yeah, there was a Dwayne Wade. Who led the Miami Heat in rebounds in the 22-23 regular season? Butler, Kevin Love, Tyler Hero, Adebayo.
Adebayo.
He says it with so much comment. Out of bio. Come on,
bro. What is that, bro? Come on.
Who
Yes, we should
averaged
have been in the Mavs in 2011.
yeah,
Should have been in
100%.
the Mavs.
Who averaged 30.5 points per game in the 22 Heat versus Hawks playoff series? Lowry, Capella, Trae Young, Jimmy Butler. Clint
Shit.
Capella is the center.
Yeah. I know Clint. I'm gonna say Trae Young.
I think you're right. Oh, you're wrong. It was Jimmy.
Jimmy? He averaged 30 points that series? Holy shit. Wouldn't have guessed that.
Man, we should keep him not. You got 17 out of 21 right.
Boom.
So there you go. There you go.
That's a good winning percentage. It's nice,
it is
man.
a good, not perfect, but who is?
It's good.
You know
It's good. It's manageable.
It is right.
Yeah.
Oh man. Let me make sure I ain't missing something here. I thought that was fun. I thought we should do something different at the end there.
It's awesome. I love those little quizzes, especially when you get into older, like Heat history and shit like that. And because it was hilarious, I used to remember stats. Like I would read before, obviously, Google and all that. Like I would get the sports books. Like remember when we would go get magazines before the season started, with like the roster, the depth chart.
I miss those.
Those were cool.
Going to the Walgreens and buying the newspaper. Like this, whatever it was. I forgot what it was, but I would for the draft. For the new season, and it would just. I actually found the Miami Heat winning the 2006 championship newspaper. I still have.
Oh, the front page.
I used to buy. I know it's like the whole thing. I used to buy those all the time. I miss those days, man. I go to Walgreens now. I did that just like nostalgic reason. I'll go to our Walgreens when we used to work down on 9th Street.
Yeah.
And well, of course it's not the same, but I'll like look for it and it's like not the same newspaper. I'm like,
yeah.
Those were the days, dude.
There's no more newspaper stands. I still remember putting a quarter in and opening up the newspaper to get it. And it was like an honor system. You will get one.
Yeah, it was an honor system. Yeah, you just take like the whole thing, walk away. But no, we never did that. We were honest.
We never did that, man.
Never. No, but
I miss those days.
Those were the days, man. You think of that argument. Those were the days. Yeah. It's like you think back, you're like, damn. Because now you get everything through your phone.
Everything.
Walk the computer, or you go, while you're on the computer, you're looking at it.
There's no more element of surprise. The only element of surprise is the breaking news. Adam Schefter.
And that even lost its luster. You see, Lou agrees. It's awesome time. Even that lost its luster because it's not even the same anymore. Like you used to watch ESPN all day. Like if you knew something was about to go down, you were watching Sports Center or whatever as the ticker was going by on the side. Yeah. And then you would see breaking news that you see on there. And also you go, wait, shut up. And it will go on the, then it goes, breaking news, Adam Schefter or Chris Mortensen or whomever. The Dolphins sign, Nick Saban, oh, boo, whatever, or remember that when Dwayne Wade and Bosch went on Sports Center, and they
announced that they were signing.
Yeah, and they were like, any idea with with LeBron James? I don't know, we'll see. Those were awesome days, man. Now it's like, oh, keep refreshing on Twitter.
Yeah, you know what sucked, and I still remember my mom every morning. Like for example, we had a test or anything. I remember this vividly. My mom would go to BK and buy me the breakfast. At that time, it was like buy one crust sandwich, get another one free. Yeah. So I would have 2 crust sandwich before every game, but before every like test or anything, and I would read my sports section. So I would go through the scores and everything. When the Heat would play in the West Coast, by the time they were submitting like the final scores, it was too late for the score to be submitted. So in the newspaper, it never said the score when the Heat were playing in LA, in Sacramento, it's sometimes in Denver. So you would have to call a number and it will read you the scores of the previous night. I still remember doing that. Yeah. I still remember doing that. And they would tell you the sports scores of the whole night. I'm like, bro, these kids don't know how easy it is now.
No, what's really cool? I was oh, dude, the Miami Herald newspaper was awesome. The sports section.
Yes, man. Oh,
I was just thinking about that the other day. Back in the day, wrestling, like being wrestling fans growing up was WCW. We used to have the WCW hotline. I was just seeing. First off, there was 2 things. First off, I saw it today when they were showing remember the old channel guy? That's how you knew what show was on. You'd watch like that whole thing and go, you miss it, go, don't talk to me. Oh, damn it, shut up. And then you have to watch it all over again. They used to have right before the WWF pay-per-view. They used to have the Sunday Night Heat playing right there, the pre-show. You would watch it, and then all of a sudden, when the pay-per-view starts, it would end. Yeah. Or I saw an old video of WCW recently, and it was like the WCW hotline, Mean Gene Okerlund, and oh, call this number and get the latest rumors and you're like, I remember as a kid, oh, and it'd go, charges may apply. You go, oh shoot, you put down your house phone
right away.
Let's see, how the hell
Bobby, did you call?
Yeah. Why is there a 10-cent charge? Oh shit.
Yes, when we traded Glenn Rice. Yes.
And it's like, I don't know. There's still things like
that was the
funny.
first
When we were younger,
franchise
back in my day,
move.
but now we're in that age. We're like back in my day, you guys don't even know.
And you know it's funny, as I've gotten older, what I miss the most is the simplicity of what life was for us.
Yeah.
Where now we have so much technology, but everything is so complex and there's everything behind the true meaning. Like when we were younger, because we were kids, but life was so simple. Like you wanted to go out and play, you just went outside and knocked on your friend's door. You went outside, you rode your bike, like you went outside with each other. Now it's like everything is like a plan and you got to do this. You got to put in my calendar. It's like, man, just go somewhere. Just go and have fun one day. Do something unexpected. That's it.
Oh man, those were the days. But anyway,
we're here today.
We're here today, Alex, just to bring us back. We're all laughing and shit now. He's like, "Oh, simplicity of times." It's like, okay, Notre dumbass.
I hate you, bro. I hate you, man.
Checking the box for everything, dude. That was the coolest thing. I look at Sports Center. It does not even look the same. I can't even do it anymore. I don't even watch ESPN. I can't do it. Unless something like they say, oh, did you see this viral? And then I'll try to look at it. But other than that, I don't get my news from watching ESPN. I get it from Twitter, breaking news. And usually I see it way before somebody, or, I'll see when somebody else is reacting in our core, in a group of friends that are in the Twitter. Yeah. Like, oh, what happened? And so I got to go and figure it out.
But I missed the breaking news is like
we're looking for a Shams. Yeah. Well, we're looking for a Shams or an Adam Schefter tweet, not like a news break,
Yeah.
But anyway. We're at an hour and a half in. This has been a lot of fun. Where it's 11:08 Eastern time. I gotta say, man, shout out to Stuart Scott. Rest in peace, man. Awesome.
Cool as the other side of the pillow.
But man, everyone who's hung with us here, from Lou and Kevin, Will, Bobby from Dive Bar Podcast, El Chapo Melendez. That's awesome. Luis, let's see, Troy, everybody, appreciate you all watching, man. We've been having a blast. We like to have fun on this show. We talk everything: Dolphins, Heat, everything Miami. Talk about growing up Miami, Hialeah, Cuban coffee. We talk about it all. So if it's your first time watching, dude, hit your notifications bell. Join us every Wednesday night, 9:30 Eastern time. We're always here. Like again, we talk everything Miami, but we'll talk literally everything. We'll even talk current events and maybe some cocaine public stories and stuff like that. We're all married here, I assume, most of us, so we all know how it is, but we have fun. But anyway, Alex, any final words before we wrap it up, brother?
Well, I will just say this. I'm intrigued to see how these next 2 days go. By the time we're back next Wednesday, we should have a trade materialize. I don't expect them to go on this trip and for them to come back for the following home game, which I believe is Monday or Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. I do expect the resolution to be in place. Like I said, I will not be surprised if it drags out, but I think it's in the best interest for everybody to find a resolution as soon as possible.
100%. There you go. We're at Monday against Orlando. And yes, appreciate you, Lou. Thank you, man. Thank you for watching, brother. And Lou, we need to get you on, man. It'd be awesome to have you on the show, man. Talk everything Miami, and especially this Heat and Dolphins and everything else. But everyone, thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate you. We really do. That's Alex the Boy, Bobby O Gringo. We appreciate you. Like and subscribe, and good night, Miami.
Peace.
Bobby O Gringo's in the house. Straight out of Hialeah, no